Students, myself Jinali Shah welcomes you on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. Today we will begin with the next part of the chapter, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Students, in the previous video we have studied regarding the process of transcription. In the process of transcription we have seen how a mRNA molecule is synthesized from a DNA molecule. Okay, once the mRNA is synthesized in the eukaryotes, we have also seen that the synthesized mRNA requires the process of processing. So, maturation process is required, that is called as the RNA processing. After that, we have also studied regarding the RNA splicing. Today, we will begin with the next topic, that is the genetic code. Now, students, the uniqueness of every cell or individual or species, it lies in the uniqueness of its proteins, and the cells are able to synthesize the specific proteins by the information flowing from DNA. Now, basically, how can we say that a particular cell is unique, particular individual is unique, or a particular species is unique? So, basically, the uniqueness basically lies in the proteins. So, every cell, every individual or every species, they are unique because of the unique proteins present in them. Now question arises, how the cells are able to synthesize the proteins. So basically they are able to synthesize the protein by the information which is present in the DNA. Now listen carefully, DNA directly cannot synthesize the protein. DNA खुद प्रोटीन का सिंथेसिस नहीं कर सकता है, बट इट हैव द इंफॉर्मेशन, उसके पास ब्लूप्रिंट है जो प्रोटीन का सिंथेसिस कर सकती है. सो बेसिकली द इंफॉर्मेशन प्रेजेंट इन द डीएनए इट इज ट्रांसफर्ड to the mRNA. That process is called as the transcription, and this mRNA by the process of translation will finally form the protein. So basically there will be the flow of information from DNA to mRNA, and then that mRNA will synthesize the protein. So for the synthesis of protein, whatever information is required, that information is present in DNA, and that information from the DNA flows to the mRNA. The reason is the DNA itself cannot synthesize the proteins. This information exists as a particular sequence of the bases in the DNA strand and is called as a genetic code. I told you that DNA contains the information to synthesize the protein. Now, in what form this information is present? So, this information is present in the form of the sequences of the nitrogenous bases on the DNA. We know that DNA, it is a polynucleotide. In the polynucleotides, many nucleotide molecules they join. So basically, what is the sequence of the nitrogenous bases on the DNA? So basically that information occurs in the form of the sequences of the nitrogenous bases on the DNA, and that is called as the genetic code. So information to synthesize protein is with the DNA, and DNA contains this information in the form of the sequence of the nitrogenous bases, and this is called as the genetic code. Now this genetic code, it is sent to the protein manufacturing machinery in the form of the mRNA synthesized on the DNA template. So whatever information is there with the DNA in the form of the genetic code, that is transferred to the mRNA, which is a protein synthesizing machinery. So information stored in the DNA is transferred to the mRNA, and then this mRNA will synthesize the protein by the process of the translation. So the order of the bases on the mRNA decides the order of the amino acids in the polypeptide to be synthesized. Now see, DNA contains the information to synthesize a protein. Protein is a polypeptide, right? Now, what is polypeptide? It is a polymer of the amino acids. What are polypeptide? They are the polymer of the amino acids. Now, what would be the sequence of the amino acids in the protein? Who will decide that? So basically that is on the basis of the sequence of the nucleotides on the DNA. DNA के ऊपर न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स का जो सीक्वेंस है या mRNA के ऊपर जो न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स का सीक्वेंस है, that will decide the order of the amino acids in the polypeptide. Are you getting my point, students? What would be the sequence of the amino acid in a polypeptide? Who will decide that? So that is decided on the basis of the sequence of the nucleotide on the mRNA molecules. So determination of the sequence of the amino acid in a polypeptide by the sequence of the nitrogenous bases on the mRNA or DNA is the function of the genetic code. So genetic code का काम क्या है? So basically वो प्रोटीन का जो अमाइनो एसिड का सीक्वेंस होगा, so what would be that sequence will be decided by the genetic code. The term genetic code, it was given by George Gamow. The relationship between the sequences of the amino acid in a polypeptide chain and the nucleotide sequence of the DNA or the mRNA is called as the genetic code. Now we know that there are 20 types of the amino acids which participate in protein synthesis. Total 20 amino acids are there which participate in the process of protein synthesis. DNA contains the information for the synthesis of any types of the polypeptide chain. सेल को जो भी प्रोटीन बनाना है, कोई भी पॉलीपेप्टाइड बनाना है, उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन किसके पास है? सो इट इज़ विद द डीएनए, बट डीएनए प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस कर नहीं सकता है. सो वॉट एवर इंफॉर्मेशन इज प्रेजेंट विद द डीएनए, इट इज सेंट टू द एमआरएनए बाय द ट्रांसक्रिप्शन एंड लेटर दिस एमआरएनए बाय ट्रांसलेशन will synthesize the protein. So in the process of transcription, information is transferred from DNA to mRNA in the form of the complementary nitrogenous base sequence. mRNA contains the code for each amino acid and it is called as the codon. So students, the information from the DNA is transferred to the mRNA. Now whatever information is present on the mRNA, so basically mRNA contains the code for each amino acid and that code is called as the codon. Now what would be the form of the codon? We will see that. So what is a codon? A codon, it is a nucleotide sequence on the mRNA which codes for a particular amino acid. So codon is a sequence of the nucleotide on the mRNA molecule and that codon will code for the amino acid. Whereas the genetic code is the sequence of the nucleotides on the DNA which contains the information for the synthesis of the polypeptide chain. Genetic code क्या है? So basically genetic code is normally the sequence of the nucleotides on the DNA. So basically the information present in the DNA in the form of the order of the nucleotides, it is called as the genetic code. The main problem of the genetic code was to determine the exact number of a nucleotide in a codon which codes for one amino acid. Okay, now codon का जेनेटिक कोड का मेन प्रॉब्लम क्या था? सो बेसिकली हाउ मेनी न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स विल अकर इन अ कोडॉन विच कोड्स फॉर वन अमाइनो एसिड. एक अमाइनो एसिड को कोड करने के लिए एक कोडॉन में कितने न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स होने चाहिए? दैट वाज अ चैलेंजिंग टास्क. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? Who codes for the amino acid? It is a codon. What is a codon? A sequence of the nucleotide on the mRNA. So एक कोडॉन को एक अमाइनो एसिड के लिए कोड करने के लिए उसमें कितने न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स होने चाहिए? That was a challenging task. Now students, we know that there are 4 types of the nitrogenous bases in the mRNA, which are that A, U, C and G. And these 4 types of the nitrogenous bases codes for the 20 types of the amino acid. ये 4 codon है which will be coding for how many amino acid? 20 amino acid. Okay, now students, if a genetic code or codon is a singlet code यानी a codon is a combination of only one nitrogenous base. अगर वो जेनेटिक कोड सिंगलेट होता तो व्हाट डज इट मीन कि वन नाइट्रोजिनस बेस विल कोड फॉर ओनली वन अमाइनो एसिड, यानी टोटल कितने नाइट्रोजिनस बेस है? 4। सो टोटल कितने कोडॉन्स बनते हैं? 4 ही कोडॉन्स बनते हैं, लेकिन अमाइनो एसिड्स तो कितने हैं? 20 है। आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? इफ अ जेनेटिक कोड इज अ सिंगलेट कोड, what do you mean by singlet code? A single nitrogenous base, it is coding for one amino acid. So total कितने mRNA में कितने nitrogenous bases है? 4, A, U, C, G. And if only one code or one nitrogenous base is coding for one amino acid, of course total कितने amino acid बनते हैं? 4 ही बनते हैं. But we know that there are 20 types of the amino acids which participate in the process of protein synthesis. So we can say that to synthesize 20 types of the amino acids, this singlet code is insufficient. So students, if the genetic code is singlet, that is a codon is a combination of only वन नाइट्रोजिनस बेस, यानी कोडॉन में सिर्फ एक ही नाइट्रोजिनस बेस है, देन ओनली हाउ मेनी कोडॉन्स विल बी पॉसिबल? 4, क्योंकि कितने नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस है? 4 ही नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस है. सो हाउ मेनी कोडॉन्स वुड बी पॉसिबल? ओनली 4. दिस आर इनसफिशिएंट टू कोड फॉर 20 अमाइनो एसिड्स. सिंगलेट कोड, that is 4:1, 4:1, that is total 4 codons. Now suppose a genetic code is a doublet code. Doublet code यानी one codon is made up of 2 nitrogenous bases. One codon is made up of how many nitrogenous bases? 2 nitrogenous bases. So total कितने nitrogenous bases है? 4. Okay, 4 into 4, that is what? 16. Are you getting my point? So अगर genetic code doublet है, so how many codons would be formed? 16 codons will be formed. But are 16 codons sufficient to synthesize 20 amino acids? No. Total amino acids जो protein synthesis में participate कर रहे हैं वो 20 है. By a doublet codon, what would happen? Only 16 codons are formed. So these 16 codons are insufficient to form the 20 amino acids. So if the genetic code is doublet, then codon is a combination of 2 nitrogenous base which would result in the formation of the 16 codons. So doublet codon 4:2, 4:4, that is 16 codons. These 16 codons are insufficient for 20 amino acids. So basically George Gamow, he pointed out the possibilities of the 3-letter code which is called as the doublet code. So Gamow, he said that genetic code would be basically a 3-letter code, that is a combination of the 3 nucleotides, and that is called as the triplet code. Now that is the genetic code is triplet. One codon consists of the 3 nitrogenous bases. So triplet code 4:3, that is 64 codons. Now how many amino acids are there? 20. और अभी codons कितने हुए? 64. So this 64 codons, they are sufficient to code for how many amino acids? 20 amino acids. So basically there is the dictionary of the 64 codons of the genetic code. So in the dictionary of the genetic code, how many codons are there? 64 codons. And these 64 codons are enough to synthesize or to code for how many amino acids? 20 amino acids. See students, this is a chart, singlet code. So basically A, U, G, N, C. So basically कितने codons बनते हैं? 20. 4 codons बनते हैं. But these 4 codons are insufficient to code for 20 amino acid. Doublet code होते हैं तो कितने codons बनते हैं? 16. C. A, C, G, U, A, C, G, U. इसका combination A. So in this way, how many codons would be formed? 16. And these 16 codons, they are insufficient to code for the 20 amino acids. So finally a triplet code which consists of the combination of the 3 nitrogenous bases. UCAG, 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 and then you get this particular dictionary of how many codons? 64 codons. Now students, which codon code for which amino acid? That is very 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 important. आपको ये याद रखना है कि कौन सा कोडॉन कौन सी अमाइनो एसिड को कोड करता है. But this is a first base, then this one will be the second base, and this one will be the third base. That is UUU, then UUC, then UUA, and UUG. In this way, a complete table will be formed consisting of the 64 codons coding for the amino acids. Now students, during replication and transcription, a nucleic acid was copied to form another nucleic acid. रेप्लिकेशन में क्या था? एक डीएनए में से दूसरा डीएनए बनता था, और ट्रांसक्रिप्शन में से क्या होता था? एक डीएनए में से एक एमआरएनए बनता था, राइट? सो बेसिकली बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ रेप्लिकेशन एंड ट्रांसक्रिप्शन, what was happening? One nucleic acid was copied to form the another nucleic acid. In a replication process, a DNA was preparing another DNA molecule, and in transcription process, a DNA was preparing a mRNA molecule. But students, these processes, they are easy to conceptualize because they are on the basis of the complementarity. Okay, ये प्रोसेस को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए, कंसेप्चुअलाइज करने के लिए इजी था. क्यों? क्योंकि ये जो प्रोसेस थे, रेप्लिकेशन हमने स्टडी किया, हमने ट्रांसक्रिप्शन स्टडी किया, दे वर बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट? कॉम्प्लीमेंटरिटी. एक रेप्लिकेशन के टाइम पे हमने देखा कि दो चेन सेपरेट होती है एंड दोनों चेन टेम्पलेट की तरह वर्क करती है, एंड ऑन दैट टेम्पलेट अ न्यू डीएनए विल बी फॉर्म्ड ऑन द बेसिस. हाउ दैट न्यू डीएनए विल बी फॉर्म्ड? सो नाइट्रोजनस बेसिस विल बी complementary to the nitrogenous basis present on the template. सेम वे ट्रांसक्रिप्शन के लिए दो डीएनए की चेन में से एक ही चेन टेम्पलेट की तरह वर्क करती है, एंड वो टेम्पलेट के ऊपर एमआरएनए का फॉर्मेशन करता है. नाउ व्हाट वुड बी द सीक्वेंस ऑफ द नाइट्रोजनस बेसिस ऑन द एमआरएनए? इट वुड बी कॉम्प्लीमेंटरी टू दैट प्रेजेंट ऑन द डीएनए टेम्पलेट. सो ये दोनों प्रोसेस को स्टडी करना ईजी था क्योंकि इट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन द कॉम्प्लीमेंटरिटी. बट स्टूडेंट्स, the process of translation requires the transfer of the genetic information from the polymer of the nucleotides to synthesize the polymer of amino acid. What is translation? First of all, translation is the process to synthesize the proteins. Okay, so basically it is protein synthesis process. So ये ट्रांसलेशन की प्रोसेस में क्या होता है? पहले तो जेनेटिक इन्फॉर्मेशन जो डीएनए के पास है वो ट्रांसफ़र होकर क्या बनाती है? एमआरएनए. ओके, एमआरएनए में इन्फॉर्मेशन आ गया, बट एमआरएनए के ऊपर जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो किसके फॉर्म में है? इन द फॉर्म ऑफ द ऑर्डर ऑफ द न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स. ओके, एंड जो प्रोटीन्स बनने वाले हैं, व्हाट आर दे? दे आर नथिंग बट द पॉलीमर्स ऑफ द अमाइनो एसिड. सो बेसिकली द translation requires the transfer of the genetic information from the polymer of nucleotides. mRNA is a polymer of nucleotide. अभी वो mRNA क्या बनाने वाला है? प्रोटीन. एंड व्हाट इज प्रोटीन? इट इज़ अ पॉलीमर ऑफ द एमाइनो एसिड. सो यहाँ पे जो mRNA के ऊपर न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स है एंड पॉलीपेप्टाइड में जो अमाइनो एसिड्स है, देर इज़ नो टाइप ऑफ द कॉम्प्लीमेंटरिटी. कोई भी कॉम्प्लीमेंटरिटी है, एक न्यूक्लियोटाइड का पॉलीमर है और एक अमाइनो एसिड का पॉलीमर है. सो is there any complementarity between the two? No. So neither does any complementarity exist between nucleotide and amino acid, nor could any be drawn theoretically. So there existed ample, or you can say sufficient evidences though to support the notion that the change in the nucleic acid were responsible for the change in the amino acid proteins. Okay, mRNA is forming a protein, but what is mRNA? It is a polynucleotide. And what is a protein? It is a polymer of amino acid, right? So there is no complementarity between a nucleotide and the amino acid. बट वो टाइम पे एक basically there were evidences that were telling that if there is a change in the genetic code, यानी genetic material में थोड़ा सा भी changes आया, then there would be the change in the amino acid. There were evidences available which says that if there is a change in the genetic material, if there is a change in the nucleic acids, then there would be the change in the amino acid sequence of the proteins, and this led to the proposition of the genetic code that could direct the sequence of the amino acid during the protein synthesis. So ये एक evidences थे कि अगर न्यूक्लिक एसिड्स में चेंजेस आए तो उसकी वजह से अमाइनो एसिड का सीक्वेंस जो प्रोटीन्स में होना चाहिए वो भी चेंज हो जाता था. सो ये जो एविडेंसेस थे उसके हिसाब से देर लेड टू द प्रपोजिशन ऑफ द जेनेटिक कोड. ये एविडेंसेस से जेनेटिक कोड का डिस्कवरी हुआ, एंड दिस जेनेटिक कोड वुड टेल अस द सीक्वेंस ऑफ द अमाइनो एसिड्स इन द during the time of the protein synthesis. Now, if determining the biochemical nature of genetic material and structure of DNA was very exciting, the proposition and deciphering the genetic code were most challenging. Okay, हमको ये मालूम था कि what is the biochemical nature of genetic मटीरियल, व्हाट इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द डीएनए. ओके, डीएनए का स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, डीएनए किसका बना है, ये सब अगर चैलेंजिंग था, ये सब प्रोसेस अगर एक्साइटिंग थे, इन द सेम वे व्हाट वुड बी द जेनेटिक कोड, एंड वो जेनेटिक कोड किसके लिए कोड करता था, दैट वाज आल्सो वेरी चैलेंजिंग. In a very true sense, it required the involvement of the scientists from several disciplines like physicists, organic chemists, biochemists and geneticists. So, basically genetic code को propose करना and वो code किसके लिए code करता है, ये task बहुत challenging था, and this required the involvement of the basically scientists from several fields, from several disciplines, like there was the requirement of physicists, organic chemists, biochemists and geneticists. It was George Gamow, a physicist, who argued that since there are only 4 bases and if they have to code for 20 amino acids, the code should contain a combination of bases. So basically Gamow ने क्या बोला कि सिर्फ 4 नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस है, एंड ये 4 नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस 20 अमाइनो एसिड्स को कोड करते हैं. तो उसने क्या बोला कि अ कोड शुड बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ बेसिस. जो कोड होगा वो कैसा होगा, इट वुड बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ द बेसिस. कैसे उसने प्रपोज किया कि कोडॉन्स बेसिकली नाइट्रोजिनस बेस कितने हैं, 4 ही है, 4 नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस, बट कितने अमाइनो एसिड्स है, 20 अमाइनो एसिड्स है. सो व्हाट डिड ही सेड कि जो भी कोई कोड होगा इट वुड बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ द नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस. He suggested that in order to code for all the 20 amino acids, the code should be made up of 3 nucleotides. उसने क्या बोला कि 20 amino acids को कोड करने के लिए that code will be a combination of 3 नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस. अगर सिर्फ एक नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस होता तो 4 ही कोडॉन्स बनते जो 4 अमाइनो एसिड्स को कोड करते. अगर इफ इट वाज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 2 नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस देन टोटल 16 कोडॉन्स कुड बी फॉर्म विच वुड बी कोडिंग फॉर 16 अमाइनो एसिड. बट हमारे पास अमाइनो एसिड्स तो कितने थे, 20. सो to code for 20 amino acids, he suggested that a code should consist a combination of the 3 nucleotides. This was a very bold proposition because a permutation and combination of 4 raised to 3 would generate 64 codons, and generating many more codons than required. See, 3 बेसिकली ट्रिपलेट कोड हुआ तो कितने कोडॉन्स जनरेट हुए 64, बट अपने पास अमाइनो एसिड्स कैसे थे 20 थे. So for 20 amino acids there were more codons. So that was a very interesting discovery. Providing a proof that codon was triplet was a more daunting task. Okay, ये तो suggest कर दिया कि कोडॉन के पास या कोड के पास इट इज़ अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 3 नाइट्रोजिनस बेसिस जिसकी वजह से 64 कोडॉन्स जनरेट हुए. लेकिन ये कोडॉन का प्रूफ प्रोवाइड करना इट वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क. ओके, देन द केमिकल मेथड डेवलप्ड बाय हरगोविंद खुराना was instrumental in synthesizing the mRNA molecules with defined combination of the bases. So basically क्या हुआ, हरगोविंद खुराना ने he artificially synthesized the mRNA. He synthesized the mRNA in the laboratory. कैसे? So basically he combined the nitrogenous bases. अभी एक term use किया है homopolymers. What are homopolymers? The polymers made up of the same nitrogenous bases. Say for example U, then A, then C, then G. What are they called as? They are called as the homopolymers. And what are copolymers? Copolymers are the polymers which contain more than one of the polymer unit or one of the monomer unit. Say for example, suppose a protein is made up of suppose these combinations, then what is it called as? It is called as a copolymer. But suppose ये combination है, ये protein है जिसमें ये सब same nitrogenous bases है. So what is that? Same amino acids है, तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? Homopolymers. So basically to provide a proof that a codon is a triplet, it was a very difficult task. So हरगोविंद खुराना ने की जो केमिकल मेथड थी कि जिसके थ्रू उसने he synthesized the RNA artificially by the combinations of the bases, that technique और ये जो उसका डिस्कवरी था, उसका जो एक्सपेरिमेंट था, that provided, it was helpful to provide the information, to provide a proof that a genetic code is a triplet code. Then Marshall Nirenberg, another one was Marshall Nirenberg's cell-free system for protein synthesis finally helped the code to be deciphered. So हरगोविंद खुराना ने क्या किया? He synthesized the mRNA in the laboratory. Then Marshall Nirenberg, he synthesized the proteins in the सेल फ्री मीडियम, यानी लैब में उसने प्रोटीन का सिंथेसिस किया एंड फाइनली इसने वो प्रूफ प्रोवाइड किया जिसकी वजह से व्हाट कुड बी द नेचर ऑफ द कोड दैट कुड बी डेसिफर्ड. एमआरएनए किसने आर्टिफिशियली सिंथेसाइज किया? ओके, खुराना ने. एंड नायरनबर्ग ने क्या किया? उसने प्रोटीन का सिंथेसिस किया सेल फ्री सिस्टम में. एंड ये इसके ऊपर से what could be the nature of the genetic code that was easily deciphered. Severo-Ochoa enzyme, that is polynucleotide polyphosphorase. It was also helpful in polymerizing the RNA with the defined sequences in a template independent manner, that is enzymatic synthesis of the mRNA. So ये जो एंजाइम है दैट इज Severo-Ochoa enzyme or polynucleotide phosphorylase enzyme, this enzyme was helpful to polymerize the RNA with the defined sequences in a template independent manner. So finally a checkerboard for the genetic code was prepared. ये हमने study किया. So this is a checkerboard and these are the name of the amino acids which are coded by the codons. This table is very important. Now students, what are the characteristics of the genetic code? So there are various characteristics. First is the triplet nature. We have studied that a genetic code is a triplet code. 3 adjacent bases termed as a codon code for the 1 amino acids. 61 codon code for the amino acid and 3 codons do not code for the amino acid. Hence they function as the stop codons. Of the 64 codons, 3 codons do not code for the amino acid and the remaining 61 codons code for the amino acid. Now the next property is they are non-overlapping. No overlapping is seen between the codon. So adjacent codon do not overlap, that is they do not share any base. Each single base is a part of only one codon. यानी जो एक base है that is a part of only one codon. Say for example, I say there is a sequence called as CCU and CAG. So okay, ये वाला जो सीक्वेंस है उसमें कितने कोडॉन्स है? सिर्फ 2 ही कोडॉन है. वन कोडॉन इज CCU and another codon is CAG. Now our point is they do not overlap. Now what do you mean by overlap? So ये वाला जो सीक्वेंस है वो किसको रीड करेगा? सिर्फ 2 ही कोडॉन को रीड करेगा, CCU and CAG, and it does not read as CCU then CUC then UCA then CAG. So ऐसा नहीं होता है. This basically code, or you can say जो बेस होती है the CCU CAG. So ये जो बेसिस होते हैं they are the part of only one codon. अभी ये CU जो है ये इसके साथ combine नहीं होगा. That is called as the non-overlapping. Then no punctuation. The next property, the genetic code they are commaless, यानी there are no punctuation marks between the coding triplets. That is a codon is read in a contiguous manner. Contiguous manner यानी एक codon के बाद दूसरा codon read होगा. Then universality. So what is universality? They are universal. यानी चाहे वो बैक्टीरिया हो, चाहे वो एनिमल हो, चाहे वो प्लांट हो, चाहे वो वायरस हो, चाहे वो ह्यूमन बींग्स हो, each code will code for the same amino acid in all the living system. So for example, from bacteria to human being, you will code for the phenylalanine only. So that is called as the universal. Yani each code codes for the same amino acids in each and every living organism. But there are certain exceptions to this rule that is found in the mitochondrial codons and in some protozoans. So mitochondrial codons यानी कि mitochondria के DNA है and certain protozoans के DNA है. In them the codons may code for some other amino acids. The next property is degeneracy or redundancy. So what is that? The genetic code is degenerate, that is it lacks specificity. It means one amino acid often has more than one code triplet. See, अपने पास कितने अमाइनो एसिड है? 64. उसमें से 3 तो किसी के लिए कोड नहीं करते, यानी बचे कितने? 61 अमाइनो एसिड. और बचे कितने कोडॉन? 61. अपने पास अमाइनो एसिड्स कितने हैं? 20. सो व्हाट डज इट मीन कि 20 अमाइनो एसिड बनाने के लिए अपने पास कितने कोडॉन्स है? 61 कोडॉन्स. व्हाट डज इट मीन कि एक अमाइनो एसिड के लिए there are more than one codons. This property is called as degeneracy or redundancy. What is it called as? It is called as degeneracy or redundancy. It means a amino acid is coded by more than one codon. So, say for example, some amino acids are coded by more than one codon and hence it is called as degenerate. Only methionine and tryptophan have single triplet codon. यानी 20 अमाइनो एसिड में से सिर्फ मिथियोनिन और ट्रिप्टोफैन ऐसे कोडॉन है, ऐसे अमाइनो एसिड है जिसके लिए सिर्फ एक ही कोडॉन है. बाकी सब अमाइनो एसिड्स विल कंटेन मोर देन वन कोडॉन. But listen the next property. See how to differentiate these two properties. So next property is non-ambiguous. What is non-ambiguous? एक कोडॉन सिर्फ एक ही अमाइनो एसिड को कोड करता है. Are you getting my point? One amino acid is coded by only one codon. हाँ, एक अमाइनो एसिड के लिए बहुत सारे कोडॉन हो सकते हैं, बट एक कोडॉन सिर्फ एक ही अमाइनो एसिड को कोड करता है. What is that property called as? It is called as non-ambiguity. Each codon codes for only one amino acid, none for more than one. Say for example U है, वो किसके लिए कोड करेगा? सिर्फ फिनाइल एनेलिन के लिए. हाँ, फिनाइल एनेलिन के लिए दूसरा कोई दूसरा कोडॉन होता है. सो दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज कॉल्ड डीजेनरेसी. बट ये वाला कोडॉन सिर्फ फिनाइल एलेनिन को कोड करता है, दूसरे कोई अमाइनो एसिड को नहीं. ये प्रॉपर्टी को क्या बोलते हैं? नॉन एम्बिगुअस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल GAA एंड GAG बोथ स्पेसिफाई द ग्लूटामिक एसिड. यानी ये प्रॉपर्टी को क्या बोलते हैं? रिडंडेंसी और डीजेनरेसी. व्हाट इज रिडंडेंसी और डीजेनरेसी? दैट अ पर्टिकुलर अमाइनो एसिड मे बी कोडेड बाय more than one codon, or you can say one amino acid has more than one code triplet. यहाँ पे अमाइनो एसिड कौन सा है? ग्लूटामिक एसिड. उसके लिए कितने कोड्स है? 2. वन इज GAA एंड अनदर वन इज GAG. सो ये प्रॉपर्टी को क्या बोलते हैं? रिडंडेंसी और डीजेनरेसी. बट ये जो कोडॉन्स है वो सिर्फ किसको कोड करते हैं? ग्लूटामिक एसिड को. They are not coding for any other amino acids. So that is called as the non-ambiguous. Now students, the next property is nonsense or terminator codons. I told you that out of the 64 codons, only 61 codes for the amino acid. 3 codons ऐसे हैं that they do not code for amino acids. So which are these codons? So 3 of the 64 codons, namely UAA, UAG and UGA, do not code for any amino acid but they signal the end of the message. यानी mRNA में ये 3 में से कोई भी एक सीक्वेंस आ गया, UAA, UAG या UGA. So what does it indicate? Okay, yes, now the protein is formed. It means there is the end of the protein synthesis process. So they are called as the nonsense codon or the terminator. Nonsense, they do not make any sense. They are not coding for any amino acid. And terminator क्यों? Because they end the process of the protein synthesis. Either of these stops the synthesis of the polypeptide chain. Then initiation codon or the start codon. Now the codon called as AUG, it is called as the initiation codon or start codon because it begins the synthesis of a polypeptide chain. कोई भी पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन का सिंथेसिस AUG कोडॉन से ही स्टार्ट होगा. यानी mRNA के ऊपर देर शुड बी द प्रेजेंस इन एनीवेयर अ AUG कोडॉन. सो एज AUG कोडॉन इट इज starting the process of protein synthesis, it is called as a start codon or the initiating codon. Now ये AUG सिर्फ प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस के प्रोसेस को स्टार्ट नहीं करता, it is also coding for one amino acid called as methionine. So ये AUG के dual role है. What are the dual roles of the AUG? One, it acts as the start codon and other is the it codes for the methionine amino acid. It also codes for the methionine amino acid. It thus has a dual functions. Which are the dual functions of the AUG? First, it starts as a it acts as a start codon, and second it acts as it also codes for the amino acid methionine. The next property is collinearity. What is collinearity? DNA is a linear polynucleotide chain, protein is a linear polypeptide chain. The sequence of the amino acid in a polypeptide chain corresponds to the sequence of the nucleotide bases in a gene that codes for it. Okay, DNA is a polynucleotide and a polypeptide is protein is a polypeptide, right? Now what would be the sequence of the amino acid in the protein will be decided by the sequence of the nucleotides on the DNA, and that is called as the collinearity. Change in the specific codon in the DNA produces a change of the amino acid in the corresponding position in the polypeptide. अगर DNA में एक न्यूक्लियोटाइड भी चेंज हुआ तो प्रोटीन भी क्या होगा? प्रोटीन में अमाइनो एसिड का सीक्वेंस भी चेंज हो जाएगा. द जीन एंड द पॉलीपेप्टाइड इट कोड्स फॉर इट आर सेड टू बी कोलिनियर. Then gene polypeptide parity. What does it mean? A specific gene transcribes a specific mRNA which produces a specific polypeptide. Gene will form the mRNA which will form a polypeptide. So basically सेल के अंदर उतने ही प्रोटीन हो सकते हैं जितने जीन्स हो गए. That is called as the gene polypeptide parity. जितने जीन्स उतनी ही प्रोटीन्स, उससे एक्स्ट्रा प्रोटीन्स होने वाले नहीं है. On this basis a cell can have as many types of polypeptide as it has the types of the genes. So these are the properties of the genetic code. Now students, we will say for example, if the following is the sequence of the nucleotide in the mRNA, predict the sequence of the amino acid by the help of the checkerboard. अगर आपको अमाइनो एसिड का न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स का सीक्वेंस मालूम है, सो कैन वी प्रेडिक्ट द सीक्वेंस ऑफ द अमाइनो एसिड? यस. सो ये हो गया. लेकिन अभी एक उल्टा कंडीशन दिया है कि यू नो द सीक्वेंस ऑफ द अमाइनो एसिड. So can you say the sequence of the bases of the mRNA through that sequences of the amino acid? Is it possible? Do you face any difficulty? Yes. Say for example ये अमाइनो एसिड का सीक्वेंस है. नाउ आपको ये बोलना है कि इसका mRNA का सीक्वेंस क्या होगा. तो क्या आप बोल पाएंगे? Yes or no? Will it be easier for you? Yes, it will be very difficult for you. It won't be easier. Why? Because एक अमाइनो एसिड के लिए there are more than one codon. So here due to degeneracy ये possible नहीं है. But by this we can tell the amino acid sequence. So यहाँ पे कौन सी रूल आ गया? Non ambiguous. Okay. And here there is degeneracy. So can you now correlate the two properties of the genetic code you have learned? Yes. अगर अपने को codons का sequence मालूम है तो we can say the sequence of the amino acid by the property of non-ambiguity. क्योंकि एक codon सिर्फ एक ही amino acid को कोड करता है. But if we know the sequence of the amino acid, we cannot easily say the sequence of the mRNA. क्यों? By the property called as degeneracy or codons are degenerate. It means कि amino acid may be coded by more than one codon. So now students, the next topic is mutations and the genetic code. Mutations हमने डिटेल में 5th चैप्टर में स्टडी कर दिया है. The relationship between the genes and DNA are best understood by the mutation studies. You have studied about the mutation and its effect in chapter 5. Effects of large deletions and rearrangements in the segment of the DNA are easy to comprehend or understand. It may result in a loss or gain of a gene and so a function. The effect of point mutation will be explained here. A classical example of point mutation is a change of the single base pair in the gene of the beta globin chain that results in the change of the amino acid residue glutamate to valine. So glutamic acid is replaced by the valine and उसकी वजह से बीटा ग्लोबिन चेन में सीक्वेंस होता है जिसकी वजह से आरबीसीज के शेप्स क्या हो जाते हैं? चेंज. एंड दिस डिसऑर्डर कंडीशन इज कॉल्ड एज द सिकल सेल अनीमिया. नाउ ये पॉइंट म्यूटेशन को स्टडी करने के लिए वी विल टेक वन सिंपल एग्जांपल. Effect of the point mutation that inserts or deletes a base in a structural gene can be understood by the simple example. Say for example, we take a genetic code जिसमें 3 letters होते हैं. ओके, वैसे ही हम एक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं 3 letter words के. राम हैज़ रेड कैप. ओके, so statement is made up of the words which have 3 letters. Each word have how many letter? 3 letter like a genetic code. ओके, अगर मैं हैज़ और रेड के बीच में एक अल्फ़ाबेट ऐड करती हूँ दैट इज़ बी. नाउ द अरेंजमेंट या रीडिंग फ्रेम होगी या क्या होगी? राम हैज़. अभी यहाँ पे बी ऐड किया है तो बी आर ई देन डी सी ए एन पी. ओके, अभी बी के साथ आई एम ऑल्सो एडिंग द आई लेटर. सो अभी रीडिंग फ्रेम क्या हो जाएगी? राम हैज़, इधर मैंने क्या ऐड किया? I ऐड किया. So BIR then EDC and then AP. Okay, now I am also adding the letter G. So I am inserting 3 letters. So Ram has big red cap. So पूरा sequence statement क्या हो गया? Change हो गया. Okay. Same exercise can be repeated by deleting the letters R, E, D. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये अपना मेन स्टेटमेंट है, इसमें से मैं पहले आर को रिमूव करती हूँ, तो अभी क्या हो जाएगा? राम हैज़ ई डी सी देन ए पी, देन आई एम रिमूविंग ई, देन डी सी ए एंड दिस. सो नाउ फाइनली आई रिमूव डी, सो मेरा रीडिंग फ्रेम क्या हो जाएगा? राम हैज़ कैप. सो अगर हम कुछ इंसर्ट करते हैं या डिलीट करते हैं, पूरी रीडिंग फ्रेम क्या हो जाती है? चेंज होती है, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द फ्रेम शिफ्ट म्यूटेशंस. So the conclusion from the above exercise is very obvious. Insertion or deletion of one or two bases change the reading frame of the point from the point of insertion or deletion. जहाँ पे हमने ऐड किया या जहाँ से हमने रिमूव किया, वहाँ से पूरी रीडिंग फ्रेम क्या होगी? चेंज होगी. Such mutations are referred to as frame shift insertions or deletion mutation. Insertion or deletion of 3 or its multiple bases inserts or delete in one or multiple codon, hence one or multiple amino acids, and reading frame remains unaltered from that point onwards. So students, I end my lecture here. Today we have studied regarding the genetic codes, their properties, and we have studied regarding the mutations. In next lecture we will be studying regarding the structure of the tRNA and the process of translation. Thank you students.